Now, talking about what exactly is going on right now for CS2 investing, well, you've probably seen it already, but we've got one of the most interesting updates we've seen in a while. Valve went ahead and reconfigured a ton of things for the game inside of it. First up, your weapon models look significantly different, and obviously this came with a lot of updates in itself, being that so many things were broken. We saw knives going through hands, we saw op skins, but really just had no skin on them. Super interesting that Valve decided right now this was the most crucial issue that they saw overall to fix, and subsequently we saw a very small pullback inside of the market for specific skins. Valve went ahead, fixed up most of these, and honestly they're sitting in a pretty decent position just because they're now useful. But it's very interesting that this is exactly what Valve's focusing in on right now. So many things of their animation has been completely changed. Honestly, they seem a lot more sluggish now, which is not ideal obviously for most people that want to play the game and actually enjoy it. I'm not personally a big fan of this update. I will say it's something that I didn't really think needed to be reworked, but I guess Valve really wanted to focus in on it. Good news is for CS2 investing, at least, this doesn't seem to have too much of an impact because the majority of the real big bad bug fixes have been fixed. Skinland is today's sponsor, and if you're looking to sell your CS2 skins, they are the #1 spot. Now with Valve's latest update, you have to wait 7 days to go ahead and get your money, but with Skinland, you're going to be able to get the best rate possible with a $10 free bonus on your first trade. Now don't forget to use code MasterShiny for that bonus, and the best part about this is they are one of the first to bring this back, and they are the most safe option to sell your CS2 skins for cash. They've also got a massive marketplace if you're looking to pick up some CS2 skins as well, significantly cheaper than the Steam market. I sell on Skinland for the best rate, so don't wait. Now, more crucially for CS2 investing, we've seen a lot of things about the next update, and there's so much to break down. First up, we've got a potential bidding system coming to the Armory. We don't know how exactly that's going to work, but it seems like for these more expensive items, you can theoretically gamble, quote unquote, on trying to get the item. Very interesting, not something I really expected from Valve. Otherwise, we've got so many of these smaller updates we've talked about previously. Pets seem to be making a very strong introduction, and that's very possible what this update could lead to, where we're seeing pets in the Armory. I think it's a very easy connection to make that Valve is making updates to the Armory, talking about their bidding system for the Armory, which they have introduced in the past, and there's something that they're going to be doing a daily rate for Armory people, and now they're talking about pets coming potentially back into the game is what we see from Game Follower. Very interesting overall, but not too big of a surprise. There's also some pretty interesting things when it comes to maps and the actual gameplay. It seems like retakes may be coming back, which is really good. Honestly, I actually enjoyed retakes a lot. I think it's a very fun game mode, and then you've just got your general Valve interest coming from just the update lines inside of the game. There's a lot of things to break down here. It's not really what I like to do, but all of this is to say these are all very positive things for CS2 investing. None of these are going to harm the area, and they're probably going to help expand the game overall, which is really good and honestly what we like to see. I'm very surprised by this considering Valve has just kind of dropped the ball with their previous update, updating animations, making them all a little bit worse, but here things are looking pretty good. Now talking about my favorite area, the case market, things have started to pull back pretty fair amount for some specific cases. If we want to look at something like our snakebite and our clutch case, things are actually going significantly stronger in this area than some other areas. That being the Prisma 1 and the Prisma 2 have seen a little bit of a pullback, which is very interesting because they seem to be the only ones. Now honestly, this is not too big of a surprise when you take into consideration these are the only two that are near identical to each other. Obviously the skins are different, knives are the exact same, and obviously the prices aren't too far off as well. These are a very strong opportunity in my honest opinion. Just over $2 is now the prices that we're seeing for these specific cases. Overall, the rest of the cheaper rare case market is going quite strong. We're able to see a lot of different areas inside of it that really show people are still very interested in these cases. Obviously, we talk about the fundamentals. Things are still going significantly better than a lot of other areas inside of the market as a whole. And the fact that these are the only cases pulling back, and it's just a very slight pullback. We're talking maybe 5 to 10% for the majority of these because of the buy order situation. Honestly, I think we're in a great position overall, and it's something that I would definitely suggest you check out. Rare cases right now are definitely at the top of my list, especially with all the instability we're seeing with Austin and other areas. It's really good to have a solid area like this, and something that I would definitely say I'm continuing to see a lot of great progression and great growth inside of this area. Now talking about our Armory, it's been around a week or two since we've seen that XM1014 actually get removed, and nothing has taken its place just yet, which is why it's very likely, in my honest opinion, we're going to be seeing some sort of Armory introduction in the near future, which is potentially that bidding system, potentially those pets. We don't really know. The current Armory ROIs are not the most amazing, but they are sitting in an okay position for the charms. Very interesting. Honestly, not something that's at the top of everyone's list, but obviously the ROIs are showing there still is a fair amount of demand. The character craft and the elemental craft sticker collections are still very solid as well. And then your normal train collections, graphic collections, overpass collections, Spartan field collections, really sitting in the average position we would expect them to be. Overall, I'm just excited to see what's going to be next for the Armory. I don't think it's going to be a brand new case. We just got the Fever not too long ago, but it could be the pets. There could be a lot of things coming for this area, which I'm excited to see. Now, one area it's very important you don't forget about right now is if you've got any of the Austin souvenir tokens. Now, we talked a lot about the Austin capsules, and obviously the ROIs on those are still going up very slightly because we really haven't been seeing a sale overall. You can see the capsules in the background right here. There are some that are probably going to be pretty solid when the sale drops, but that's not the only thing for Austin. Remember, we've got the souvenir packages, and we've got a lot to break down with those. First up, and most importantly, we've got the Anubis Collection souvenir package. Now, this is much different than the Anubis package, which is still for sale in the shop for $2. This is the souvenir one, and it's no longer going to be available after this major, at least for a fair bit of time, because it's no longer an active duty map. It's getting replaced, and therefore this is an opportunity to get the last ones, and potentially the only ones with the souvenir token attached to it. I'm not saying it's going to be a great investment, but historically we have seen these collections rise after they get removed. This one's a little bit unique because it doesn't have as much demand as the Dust 2, and it's definitely not as unique, being that the skins are much more available because you can get them in a non-souvenir format for very cheap. Very interesting, but it is an opportunity. Otherwise, honestly, I'm not making any investment into Austin just yet because we haven't even seen a major sale, which is not applying to souvenir packages, but it lasts 3 to 4 months, so you'll have more than enough time if you really want to make an investment to do it then. Now, one area for investment I haven't talked about in a while is going to be the Fever and the Gallery case. And I'll be completely honest in saying the Fever case would probably be one of the best investments you could possibly make into this game if it gets removed. But let's be completely honest here. It is currently the most unboxed case by a mile. It's the most in demand by a significant amount. There is zero reason why Valve would go ahead and remove the Fever case when it doubled almost what we saw the Gallery case in a very short time period. With that being said, that opens up the Gallery case for an opportunity right here. And I think there is a very strong opportunity for the Gallery case. It really comes down to the fact that I don't know we're going to be seeing a brand new case relatively soon. And therefore, I don't know if the Gallery case is going to be kicked out. I definitely like both of these cases as investments because we can look at what happened to previous Operation cases. These are not Operation cases, but they follow a very similar path, being that you have to acquire them. You don't just get them. And we can see exactly what happened to previous Operation cases. They have shot up in price all across the board, whether they had significant demand in the short term or not. And therefore, this is a great opportunity if we get them removed. And honestly, if we see the Gallery case fall down to 80 cents again, I'm going to be buying up a lot. Now, talking about what's next for CS2 investing, first up, I will definitely say the Armory seems to be at the top of Valve's interest, whether it's adding this bidding system, whether it's adding pets, we don't really know exactly, but I would definitely say something is probably going to be coming to the Armory, especially considering we don't have a limited edition item in there right now. Then obviously we got the Austin Major, which is going to be playing an impact in some way, shape, or form because we haven't seen the sale yet, which we know is going to be coming, and obviously that's going to be sticking around for a fair amount of time. Now, coming to the question of should you be buying right now, in my honest opinion, I don't think that there is a super strong incentive to buy right now unless we're talking about maybe the case market. Some of these are down slightly, and therefore that creates an opportunity to buy there. Otherwise, for the rest of the market, I would definitely say just sit back and watch. There's nothing really pressing me about buying right now. But that's all I got. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day.